What's good, everybody? It's your man Joe. You're checking out Stuff Fly People Like. The name of the album is #My Name is Joe Thomas. Basically an homage to one of my biggest albums to date, My Name is Joe, back in '96. Just wanted to write music that was connecting and that was relative to everyday life, on both sides of the coin. And also I wanted to allow the music to speak to the new generation, to the kids, and as well in a very positive way. I mean, I think R&B has sort of taken a back seat to the influence that they can have on the generation. And of course, with the Bryson Tillers and Tory Lanez, Jeremih, I mean, all those artists that are now in current and that are young considered to be R&B. It's just giving them a little bit different perspective on what this R&B thing was before, even before me, back in the 70s and 60s, when it was just beautiful and quality and genuine and stuck to a certain script, showed respect for women, and they were gentlemen, when they wrote and when they sang songs. So I'm just bringing that back again. Performances is given and is done to enhance what the lyrics are, what the melody is to make it believable, is to make you feel a certain emotion. Now it's about a repetitive thing. I mean, it's about flair and vibe and style, which is all similar in a way. I mean, when you hear a song of R&B now, if it doesn't sound like this other record, it doesn't feel like this particular song, it almost puts you in sort of ways. It almost puts you in a position to not do anything different. You have to follow a certain format, because if you want a mainstream record, that record got to feel like a today's mainstream record. They're not giving the opportunity for something new and something different, and which is very unfortunate, because I think it stunts your creativity. It stops you from going to a certain place that could be absolutely amazing. So that's the sad part about it for me when it comes to what today's R&B is. So I can have you back. It's just me. It's just me and my style of writing. It's funny. I get it all the time. Like, man, you sing like the ultimate hater when it comes to relationships. But I think a lot of people go through situations like that, especially when you realize a little too late that you had the best thing that ever happened to you, and you made maybe a small mistake. You made something that was just, not cheating or trust issue or something like that. Maybe it was just, living habits. Some things that's just, okay, that could change and you can get better, and now you learn, but then it just wasn't enough to keep it going and keep it strong. And then you're looking at the next guy like, oh man, that's mine right there. That's, not really like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever. Yeah, I will do whatever it takes, but I respect the fact that you are in a relationship, but I do hope he does something to be very, very detrimental and make the biggest mistake of his life and lose you, and you realize that, what, I was good where I was. I was just perfect in the relationship before. The more you sing, and I've been singing for a long time. I mean, even since a kid, and it's really what I do. I mean, I play instruments as well, and if I needed a job doing that, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem, because I've been doing that for a long time as well. But singing is something that I always do, even when I'm not on stage and when I'm just around the house. And I always sang very powerful. I always sang with a strong, approach. And I think maybe that's had a lot to do with, my voice being able to withstand certain colds, and also I got to say, I mean, I don't abuse my body. I don't do certain things. I used to smoke that marijuana, as they call it. Yeah, man, I was bad at it at one point, and then I just complete cold turkey, just quit. For some people, that's very hard to do, is to say, you know what, I'm done, I'm good, and let me move on to the next stage of my life. And that was, it's not that it affected my singing when I was smoking, but it's just something I felt like I didn't need to do anymore. It was just like, okay, I'm over and done with this now, and I don't miss it, which is the crazy thing. I do not miss it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I like to be focused at all times. So yeah, just protecting my body and making sure I don't overindulge in certain things. I don't overeat. Because then the weight will start showing on me. I'm like, wow, this got ballooned and got all out of shape. And then they're doing the before and after pictures of me. I don't want that to happen. So just taking care of myself properly and making sure still I enjoy life. I mean, I love food. I love to eat. But I do it in moderation. I do everything in moderation. I've always been a fan of that 60s, 50s, 40s era. They were so super, super, super duper clean. The fedoras, as you mentioned, the pea coats and even trench coats, all the way down to the shoes. And so I was always a fan of that look. Even the gangsters, when you think of the gangsters like Capone and even John Gotti, these guys were super clean. When you watch Godfathers, and a lot of those movies, even Harlem Nights, for instance, Harlem Nights was some of the most well-dressed gentlemen, that I've probably ever seen. I mean, I think they were just super clean. I even get suits designed with that Harlem Night theme, with the vest, with the pocket chain, with the pocket watch. We call them waistcoats, in the professional world, but we call them vests from the South, three-piece. So I've always been interested in that particular look. My dad was a phenomenal dresser. My mom was a phenomenal dresser. She was a seamstress as well. So it's always been embedded in my system to represent and look the best at all times. At all times. First impression, it's last impression a lot of times for people. If I was on an island and I can only take 3 albums with me, man, I would take Sade, Greatest Hits. I would probably take, man, that's a tough question. Now I really got to think. I knew Sade was number one at any time. I love Michael Jackson, certain energy and performance. And when you hear the music, you can visualize it. So I would probably take Michael's Greatest Hits as well. I love Marvin Gaye, but I love George Benson. Oh, man, that third one would be tough. And I also love hip hop. So Biggie or Pac or even the Snoop Doggy Dogg's album, Doggy Style album. This is a tough one. I'd have to mix it up. I would have to go with rap maybe on this one. Probably Biggie. I think Biggie's, I love the first album, but I also love that second album, man. That Today's Agenda, Got the Suitcase Up in the Central, and go to room 112 and tell them Blanco sent you. It's so much music that is incredible. I'm gonna have to take that Biggie second album. I'm gonna have to go with that one. But what does fly mean to me? Wow. Fly is a certain personality, a certain confidence, in yourself and how you speak, how you walk, how you dress, and it could be something that someone else never thought of. It could be just something left field, but you do it in such a way that's just like, wow, I never would have thought of that. I never would have did it that way, but man, that's dope. And also having someone commend you on what that is, not just believing it yourself, but have someone say that's official. And also fly is what you do a lot of times and how you do it. I mean, me being a recording artist and not knowing from the gate that where my career would be at this particular time, and having worked with so many phenomenal recording artists from Mariah Carey, obviously G Unit, Big Pun, LL Cool J. It's been just so many phenomenal fly situations I've been in. I think that might be the pinnacle of what fly is to me, is being able to take what you do and focus at it. Focus on something that you don't know yet is going to become something incredible, but you worked so hard at trying to get to that particular point and falling in love with what that is. Like when I started playing instruments, I knew that I wanted to continue practicing because I wanted to be good. I wanted to learn and understand the instruments. Singing was more of a natural thing for me. I never had to practice that thing. It's just you wake up, you sing, and you hear the notes, you execute them. Working hard at something and watching it become a success. That's fly. Make sure you catch that new album. # My Name is Joe Thomas, and the single is out right now, so I can have you back. And also I got a joint with Gucci Man, Happy Hour. You're watching Stuff Fly People Like TV.